This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. It's interesting. We got some topics that we're going to talk about today that I feel like is going to interest you, and I feel like it's going to interest our listeners and viewers as well. Mike, good morning. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. You know, won 3 parlays. You know, won a big one on Monday. Appreciate you, Kareem Hunt. I dislike Zay Flowers for the moment.
Okay. A lot of people do. They feel the same way.
Yeah.
Man, how was your week?
It's cool, man. Rainy.
Yeah.
You know, told you about little situations that happen, whatever, but we prevail. So ready for this football week. My boy CMC is back.
Oh, goodness.
So you know what that means.
Okay.
Championship.
What does it mean? So let me ask you this before we get into the headlines. Because Christian McCaffrey is coming back for the 49ers. If people don't know who CMC is, of course Chiefs fans do. If in case they don't know, does that mean that this is going to make them automatic Super Bowl contenders?
It was automatically still Super Bowl contenders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, like they still have one of the best offensive lines, good defense. You know, Brock Purdy's still a good quarterback. I mean, how would you feel to play against the Bengals right now?
For the Chiefs?
Yeah, how would you feel if the Chiefs played like 2 weeks from now, the Bengals right now?
It'd be okay.
Yeah, okay.
The Chiefs' defense is much better than the Bengals, and I know where you're going with this. The Chiefs' defense is much better than the Bengals and much better than the Baltimore Ravens' defense.
Oh yeah, of course that.
Yeah,
but the offense, I think the offense is clicking way better than it was, you know, week 1 and week 3?
Oh, okay. It would be a good game, but nah. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, we'll dive into some sports betting. Chiefs, we'll talk about that. They haven't lost in a pretty long time, and we'll dive into that. That's also including the Baltimore Ravens and the Bengals, 2 teams that played on Thursday night.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit. Plus, we'll dive into Bobby Witt and Seth Lugo. They both won Gold Gloves. And DeMar DeRozan. There's been some riff-raff, I guess, between DeMar and Drake and the owner of the Sacramento Kings. We'll dive into that. Plus, we'll have our Sneakers of the Week in about 30 minutes. Let's get to our headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, so the state of Missouri is to debut sports betting by 2025 NFL season after Tuesday's election win. So after several years of bitter defeats, I guess you can say, proponents of legal sports betting in Missouri finally emerged victorious on election night. So on Tuesday night, voters in the Show Me State approved Amendment 2, a ballot initiative that aimed to legalize sports betting across the state. So the initiative, which received the backing of the state's professional sports franchises, including the Chiefs, Royals, Sporting KC, Current, all of them. They backed this amendment and passed by a narrow margin of 0.3%.
Yeah, about 7,000 votes.
You surprised by that?
Yes, no. I think, you know, a lot of Missourians was feeling a little hoodwinked on
were they?
On how the casino money was distributed to you know, public schools and how there's lack thereof, because there's a lot of KCMO schools that are closed down, destroyed, demolished. You know, so if you're supposed to be getting all this revenue from the casinos, but you only have like 2 or 3 high schools functioning, 20 something elementary schools. What happened to all that money? So I can see where they was reluctant, but I'm really looking out for my bottom line right now because now I get to sit from the comforts of my home because the gas price is going from where I live to the Kansas border. I have to win 3 parlays so just to make up for the gas and the traveling.
So approximately 2.9 million votes were cast. The measure passes by less than 7,500 votes. According to unofficial results, the Missouri Secretary of State's office put out earlier this week. So Missouri becomes the 39th state nationwide to legalize sports betting, joining neighboring Kansas, which launched sports wagering in September of 2022. So you mentioned going across the state line. What does this do to the businesses of Kansas, more specifically KCK?
I think it takes it away. Obviously you still have the Kansians that are there, but we have the 2 luxuries. We have legal marijuana and legal gambling. So, I've never been a fan of Kansas or anywhere in Kansas, and I reluctantly want to go over there. But hey, if you're living in Wyandotte, Johnson County, and you're a good person, come on over to Death Row.
Here's the thing about it, though. You got all the bordering states: Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska. No, I don't think you can bet in Oklahoma.
Can't bet in Oklahoma.
Arkansas, then Illinois.
I don't think Arkansas is legal either.
Arkansas is legal. The bordering states. So you have the bordering states, and here Missouri is sitting between those states, and
not on there.
They're missing out. Okay, well, Arkansas is not on there, so they're missing out on, funds. Basically, they're missing out on a lot of money. Whether most of it's going to go to schools, whether it's going to go to wherever it's going to go to, they're missing out on a lot of it. And I feel like 2.9 million people, majority of those folks, all but 7,000, wanted to.
Yeah, you got Kansas, Iowa, Indiana, Illinois. Nebraska's not on there, and Arkansas is not on there.
Okay.
So you remember when we drove up to Minnesota and how everybody was on that borderline of Iowa, and how we heard that conversation where the guy said they were all coming over from Minnesota to that gas station right there on Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was he made it into like a one-stop shop,
right?
Like a golfing area, whatever. It's like it was no longer a gas station. And I believe that, KCK, Wyandotte, they missed out on that opportunity to really cash in. But obviously, if they knew that this would probably be something that was coming through, then you don't want to waste that money. But then still, you want to make it attractive to where you can have repeat customers coming in, or at least the people that live on the Kansas side. I don't think they missed out on the opportunity, because you had those businesses, the bars, the restaurants, the cigar shops that are on, on state line or right across state line, which you can look at. First of all, Strawberry Hill. You have a cigar shop over there. You have a bunch of other businesses where people would go and sit and watch sports and make bets. And then you had a lot of different locations, in Wyandotte County, whether it was close to the Legends. You had the Merc, which is right there over on closer to 7th Street, and Minnesota. Yeah, and people were able to go over there and not only just vote in the parking lot, but I would guess that they have made some money of people coming in there doing some shopping. At the grocery store. And then you had Tanner's, where you frequent, right across Rainbow. So I think they're going to miss out on a lot of revenue from people not going over there anymore. Listen, I know a lot of people that go over there to quick trip off a row.
Yeah, of course.
Those gas station pumps. But listen, to sit at home in the comfort of my own home, and I live far from the state line, so this really is near and dear to my heart. Be able to put in some parlays and get the option to cash out.
So it's a personal reason for you.
Oh, very personal.
Darius asked us on our YouTube live feed. If you're listening to us on 100.1 FM, remember you can also use hashtag talk about it, or send us a message and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Or you can, chime in on anything we're talking about currently on one of our social media live feeds at the W Show KC. Darius says, does legalizing sports betting help our chances of keeping the Chiefs and stay in Missouri? No. The reason I say that is because it's all about new stadium. It's all about the bottom line.
And they can't allocate the gambling money to the money to help with the new stadium or whatever.
Yeah. But. So I don't think it helps the chances. I feel like it's whoever's going to spend the most money to help the teams get a new stadium.
If they go over to Kansas,
mm-hmm.
I think Missourians should boycott.
No, that won't happen.
That would be horrible.
I feel like if it's still in Kansas City, Kansas, it's okay, but Overland Park, that's a problem.
God, no. Go over there in Kansas, man, and watch the game. No.
And speaking of Chiefs, they haven't lost a game since falling to the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 16 of last season on Christmas Day. Yeah. You can remember that. So they've tallied 14 straight wins in that time, including the playoffs since last year. It's the longest winning streak in franchise history and the longest for any team since the 2015 Carolina Panthers won 14 straight games to open that season.
I like it how you trying to emphasize the longest winning streak. Listen, they are the margins that they're winning by. I don't think the Chiefs fans should be comfortable with that. You know, at some point, you know, the Roosters is going to roost. They do have a top defense. They're allowing, I think, second or third
under 20 points.
Allowing a total of 146 points.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Mahomes down by one score is 75% chance of winning. I understand that, but listen, other than the games on primetime, I watch these games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Offense on several different plays do not look good. Sometimes they're scrambling, trying to figure out things. Pat's thrown how many interceptions now?
Enough.
Yeah. I don't think they can sustain these type of wins over and over again. And how they're winning and coming off a Super Bowl win reminds me of, I don't think if you remember when Florida State won the national championship, and then the next year they just kind of blew through. And then the first day in the playoffs, whatever, they got rocked.
Yep.
You see teams like, listen, I haven't seen an offense like Baltimore. We always know the Ravens for their defense, never for their offense. There was always this question about Lamar Jackson and his pass efficiency. Is he just a run quarterback? This dude's passing rating is phenomenal.
Okay.
He's throwing for 300 yards. Now, the defense is just horrendous. You know, I don't think that they can get in a shootout with the Chiefs. But if the offense keeps performing like this, I don't think that the Chiefs defense can hold up. And I understand you're a Chiefs fan and you optimistic.
No. I take Chiefs fandom out of it when I'm
because you know what I hope.
Yeah.
I hope that it comes down to a close game, and then you guys, the calls that you guys do get, I hope that you guys don't get it, because I want to hear, oh, if the ref didn't do this and didn't do that, because then I'm going to pinpoint all these games with these suspect. Why did you make this call play? And be like, listen, if you can take it when you win, you need to take it when you lose.
Oh, of course. Are you finished?
Go ahead.
So I get what you're saying. The Ravens offense they look very good. The Cincinnati Bengals offense look very good. But what happens when you have a lopsided team? What happens when your defense, you know that you got to go out there and outscore people? The Chiefs were that.
And now they're not.
No. Let me finish. They were that. And seeing as how now, and you said you've only watched, or you've been watching the games other than the primetime games.
No, I watch all the games and the prime. I just don't watch.
So that means you just watched the Monday night game, which happened just 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Where two new additions.
Yeah, he's on my dynasty. He's on my dynasty team.
So you understand that the two new additions have helped out this offense, and you would also understand that the Chiefs are missing 3 weapons that would have helped this team since the beginning of the year in scoring. Wait a minute. That would have helped this team in scoring. That's Isaiah Pacheco. That's Hollywood Brown. That's Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice was leading all receivers until he got injured. So that being said, they've acquired Kareem Hunt and also DeAndre Hopkins, who have helped this team and also taken a lot of pressure off of not only Travis Kelce. Now you think about the fact that they've been winning and how they've been winning. The defense has been helping them win, which
this defense is just a monster.
So put that defense against any of those two teams, and you have a totally different ballgame. DeMar Jackson has seen this defense. They haven't look. That offense hasn't changed since week 1.
Whose offense?
Baltimore Ravens.
No, they're better.
they're better, and they're going up again. Look who they've played. They haven't beat any. How many playoff teams has this Baltimore Ravens team beat?
Listen, you beat.
Let's look.
Listen, you beat NFL teams.
Okay,
you beat NFL teams, and they're not. Listen, they're not beating them. This game against the Bengals, which is the same game that the Bengals had against the Chiefs, with the missed call or a call that shouldn't have been called. Look, Joe Burrow is thrown for 10 touchdowns.
They lost against the Chiefs 27-20.
Okay.
They played the Raiders.
Yep.
They lost to the Raiders the following week.
Okay.
All right. They played the Cowboys. They beat the Cowboys 28-25. That's playoff team. They beat the Bills 35-10. Playoff team. Bengals. They're not a playoff team.
They're not a playoff team?
The Bengals will not make the playoffs this year.
Okay. Whoa. I think the Bengals are an anomaly. Listen, they are.
But they're not. Well, I'm talking playoff team.
Whoa. Hold on, man. Listen. You're looking at their record and saying that they're not a playoff team or whatever. I'm saying this, though. If you go by the Bengals' last games on how they lost to the Chiefs on that one call, right? Yeah. And they ended up kicking a field goal or whatever, right? They are a field goal, a holding call, or pen. I know what if it's a fifth or whatever, but you're acting like if they're not a playoff team, would you say they are not a playoff team like the Raiders? Are they not a playoff team like the Cowboys right now?
No, I'm saying no. If you're looking, we're talking about this season. We're not talking about last season.
And I'm talking about if you look at the Cincinnati
the Bengals gonna make the playoffs this year.
No, listen.
That's my question.
I said, no, don't do that. This is why I said that they're an anomaly, right? Is the Cincinnati Bengals better than the Cowboys?
Right now, yes.
Is the Cincinnati Bengals better than the Packers?
No.
Okay. Cincinnati, are they better than the Raiders?
Yes.
Okay.
They haven't played the Packers.
Are they better than the Buccaneers?
They haven't played the Packers. So
it don't matter who they played. Are they better than these teams?
They're not a playoff team.
Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Chase Brown.
Will they make the playoffs?
Maybe.
Answer my question.
Maybe.
Okay. So let's just say they're
so
played. Wait. So they've played the Raiders. They played the Cowboys. They played the Bills, playoff team. Let's say the Bengals have played the Raiders. The Bengals are a playoff team. The Commanders are going to be a playoff team. The Buccaneers are going to be a playoff team. The Browns, no. The Broncos, no. The Steelers, they haven't played them yet. So out of those teams that they played this season,
man, you know what I think
that they've beat. Only four of them were playoff teams.
Absolutes is for children and dumb people.
Okay.
Absolutes are for children and dumb people. And to look at the schedule and look at, okay, they played this team and this team is not a playoff team. These are NFL players, right?
Doesn't matter. A bad team is a bad team.
Listen, a bad team is a bad team, but they still lace up and play the game. You guys lost to the Raiders last year, right? Were you supposed to they was a bad team, right? So you can't say, oh, we're playing against a bad team is a bad team or whatever. But every Sunday, every Monday, every Thursday, when you lace up, there's still
Friday.
There's and a Friday and a Saturday. You're still
Wednesday.
You're still an NFL team that plays. And the Chiefs lost against the Raiders last year, which is a bad team.
That was 14 games ago.
I don't care. You're mentioning things. They lost.
They're undefeated since then.
They lost. And the way that they're winning is not going to be sustainable.
Okay.
I cannot wait. Listen, when the day comes, when y'all lose, I want you to show up with this energy because you know what? Your offensive alignment sucks.
Listen.
Number 74.
You gotta figure out ways to say that this Chiefs team is not good. I get it. I understand.
The offense is horrible.
Really?
They're not. Listen, Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback, but who's better quarterback right now? Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Patrick Mahomes.
You are drunk.
I'm not. I haven't drunk in a few days.
You need to drink then to make that a viable excuse. Look at the stats with Lamar Jackson. This dude he may win his third MVP this year.
We have a red hour. We have a red hour text thread. Let me finish. We have a red hour text thread. Red Hour, if you guys want to watch our show Monday nights, we'll be at Elevation Grill in Raytown every Monday from 6:30 to 7:30 starting this upcoming Monday. So we have a text thread for our Red Hour show, right? And in that thread, DJ Q, who's a member of the Red Hour, and he sent in a thread that Lamar Jackson, he compared Lamar Jackson and another quarterback, Drew Brees. He compared Lamar Jackson and yeah. So we said, and I put in that thread, I was like, man, Lamar Jackson is going to go down as the greatest quarterback that has never won a championship. He's not going to win a championship. He's going to be the Charles Barkley of the NFL.
You think he's not going to win a championship?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
He's going to be the Charles Barkley of the NFL.
Weed smoking.
And I say that to say Lamar Jackson, until he can win the big game, not just make – Joe Burrow's made it to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow is closer than Lamar Jackson if you want to just look at their careers.
Who did Joe Burrow beat to get to the championship game?
AFC Championship, he beat Patrick Mahomes.
Thank you. Go ahead. At where?
At Arrowhead. Yeah, there's no denying that.
All right,
I agree with that.
There we go.
He was a better quarterback.
It's not agreeing. It happened. Like it's not like
I'm agreeing with you because
hey,
you said
I think that's a nice outfit. That's subjective or whatever. Like, that's opinionated. No, that's an absolute.
The thing about it is you cannot bring Lamar Jackson up and be in that good quarterback conversation until he wins a championship.
Listen, my internet in this place is not good. Look up top QB passer ratings right now.
We don't have to.
Oh, why not?
I go with the eye test. Lamar Jackson
is the best quarterback in the league right now, who may win his third MVP.
He's doing this to bad teams.
Oh my God! You know what? The Buffalo Bills is a bad team.
Yes,
man. Listen, I'm about to cuss on this radio station, man. You are. Oh my God! I can't even believe you're not.
I like round you up, man.
Oh my God! Big Brown, because this is ridiculous.
Oh man.
Against bad teams.
So
I mean, whoa. The Chiefs are a good team. He played really damn good against the Chiefs. How many touchdown passes did he throw?
What did he go home with?
Hold on.
What did he go home with?
Hold on.
NL.
So if you throw 7 touchdowns, but your defense cannot stop the offense or whatever, is that Lamar's fault or is that the defense fault?
It's Lamar's. You got to score more touchdowns.
Man, listen.
You got to score more touchdowns. So there's a poll. Let's bring it back. There's a poll going around on social media right now. Can the Chiefs go undefeated?
You know what?
And before we're gonna do our own poll today.
No,
I'm gonna give you a yes or no, and I want you to tell me why not. But before that, so here's the remaining schedule, and if you're watching us online, you can chime in as well. They play the Broncos.
They can take an L there.
The Bills, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Browns,
they can take an L.
Texans, Steelers,
Broncos
again.
Steelers,
so they have 5 home games and 4 away games.
5 games they can
only
lose.
Only 3 teams have a winning record that they play.
Did the Raiders have a winning record when they lost to them on Christmas? Need to stop going off of this fact.
So here's my question.
Go ahead.
Do they go undefeated? Yes or no?
No.
Give me your why not.
Why not is because the offense is abysmal. The Chargers is the best defense. They've only allowed 101 points, and they have a very good ground game, and they have a quarterback. The way to beat the Chiefs is this. You limit Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Touches. Right? You can control the game. If you have a good defense and a good running game, and you can play within the margins, and you can go up by at least 10.
And how do you control the game?
You control the game by possessing the ball longer, winning those 3rd and 4s, those 3rd and 6 downs, right? Getting over the 50-yard line where it puts you in field goal range to where you're tallying up points every possession or whatever. Making the game a 2-point game, a 2-score game in the 4th quarter rather than a 1-score game in the 4th quarter. Because like I said, between 1-point games and 1-score games, Patrick Mahomes is a 75% chance to win. That's how you do it. So you have the Chargers, who have one of the best defenses in the game, right? And Herbert has been known to beat the Chiefs at home, right? The Broncos have a good defense. They have a decent run game.
Okay.
The Bills, scary team, added some additions or whatever. MVP caliber quarterback can beat them. You guys lost to the Raiders last year, right? Were they a winning team?
Here's one proven fact.
The Raiders are winning team last year.
Last year they were.
They were a winning team.
At that point, they were a winning team.
At that point, they were a winning team.
They were a winning team. They were on the verge of making the playoffs.
Been my friend for like 30, 40 years.
They were on.
I really think that he needs psychological help.
They were on the verge.
Right here,
go back and look at their record of last year when they were.
Look it up.
I will, but here's my take on this. The Chiefs still have to play these games, and I feel like their toughest opponents that they're going to play are the Texans and the Steelers, and possibly the Bills. They're going into Buffalo, and they're going to have to win this game.
Buffalo, Broncos, Chargers. Divisional games are the toughest games.
You can believe what you want.
Divisional games are the toughest games. That's why you guys lost to the Las Vegas Raiders last year. Everybody thought that.
Why are you looking at last year?
Why? You just said we were the longest winning streak, 14-0 since Christmas. Don't bring up the situation and then be like, why are you bringing up last year? That was part of your facts.
All right, since we're talking Kansas City sports, let's talk Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt Jr. and Seth Lugo won their first career Gold Gloves awards in Sacramento. Another fact: the Kansas City Royals have now won 22 Gold Gloves since 2011, which is the most in Major League Baseball across that span.
With only one World Series.
That's
decent. My
no,
team
that's
got
not,
2
that's
in the
not,
last 4 years.
That's not decent. That's
phenomenal.
I want to ask you, when you look at the Royals and the youth that they have, starting with Bobby Witt Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Salvador Perez is the oldest on the team. Do you think this catapults them to being a contender over the next few years? No, why?
No, they may be a contender within a division, but then when you still have the likes of the Yankees,
who will probably lose Giancarlo Stanton
or Soto,
both of them.
If they lose both of them, I'm pretty sure they can re-up and get somebody, right? Okay. The Red Sox, they still spend a lot of money, right? Who else is in the American League? The Astros, had a down year, even though, I don't like the Astros for the cheating and how they still solidified as world champion or whatever. And that they cheated. You still have them. I believe Detroit, who went on fire. I think they had the most wins the last, 60 games ending the season and made the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Cleveland Indians is still a tough team, and that's within the
Cleveland
division.
Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians, excuse me. And I got a shirt I'm going to wear once it comes in about them. Okay. I love it. I think with those 2 teams in the division and Minnesota having their first bad year to where they always kind of led the AL Central or whatever, and you have Detroit who came out of nowhere with youth, the Cleveland Guardians who've always been good, and they have a good World Series, manager. I don't know, unless they can bring in some better pitcher and get a solidified closer, they may be able to do it. But I have no faith in the Royals.
Okay, that's interesting. You think about just like I said, the youth movement, and it also this was if you look back in 2014, 2015, those seasons, the one thing that kind of catapulted them was getting into the postseason that first year, and then understanding how to win. And I'll take this back to the Chiefs for a second.
I hate that.
You gotta understand how to win.
What is that?
Like you would know being a 49ers fan.
No, but
they've understood how to get there.
I think that's a cliche of understanding how to win or whatever. Okay. There's no understanding. You're a professional athlete.
You got to learn how to be a pro too.
You learn how to be a pro, which means
you got to learn how to be a pro.
That's not learning how to win. You don't learn how to win. You either win or you lose.
No, you got to learn how to win.
No,
you've got to learn how to win in professional sports. You do.
No.
It's different. It's different from college. It's different from high school. You just go out there and plan for fun. Now you got to learn how to be a pro.
Whoa. So what you're telling me is this though. So when you go from high school and you just practice or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're not practicing to win.
You're practicing to win, but as a pro, you've got to learn.
It's not learning how to win.
It is learning how to win.
It's not learning how to win. It's
so what is it?
Learning how to play the game better. It's not learning how to win.
Within all of that,
you don't learn how to. So do you practice to lose?
Can you
learn how to lose?
You can be up in a game and lose because you haven't learned how to win yet.
No, that's not learning how to win.
That is a thing.
No, that's not learning how to win.
Oh my goodness.
I hate that cliche. I'm learning how to win. No.
You've got to learn how to be a pro, which in turn
no.
You got to be taught how to win in the professional.
How to win.
You got to be taught how to play the game and be a professional.
So I guess the Kansas City Chiefs and the Royals were just born losers for 50 years. Then
I mean, they lost.
Losers. Learn how to win. You learn how to. No, what you do is you learn how to analyze, and you got lucky with a quarterback who.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. Who coincidentally. Scouting report to when he was drafted seems to be what he's doing now. Erratic throws, going off of the fly. How many interceptions does he have? 15? Seems to be his scouting report.
You've got to learn how to win. I'll tell you one guy who knows how to win. That's DeMar DeRozan. He's responded to Drake after saying he'd remove his Raptors banner. So DeMar DeRozan in a debut returned to Toronto, the city where it developed him into an NBA star. There you go. But it appeared not everyone is so happy to see him back. The Sacramento Kings beat they actually lost in overtime to the Toronto Raptors, 131-128. Several clips on social media went viral involving the artist Drake and DeMar DeRozan. So on the Turner Sports broadcast in the fourth quarter, saw Drake responding to a question to DeMar DeRozan after, they
After the L.
asked him to if he would, what he thought about putting a banner in the rafters. Let's hear what Drake had to say.
Sure. Yes, if you ever put a DeRozan banner up, I'll go up there and pull it down myself. That's the answer to your question.
And here's DeMar DeRozan's post-game comments about that question.
DeMar, in tonight's broadcast, Drake said, if you ever put up the DeRozan banner up, I'll go up there and pull it down myself. What's your reaction to that?
Well, he gonna have a long way to climb to take it down. So I tell him good luck.
Good luck. So the owner of the Sacramento Kings, they played the Raptors again in Sacramento 5 days later, and this is what the owner had to say. The owner of the Sacramento Kings decided to wear a
Not Like Us,
Not Like Us shirt, sitting next to Master P.
Somehow, I think that was Alvin Gentry or whatever.
And Master P, yeah.
Yeah. But how did Not Like Us become the black anthem of separating who's us and who is not us?
I mean, it's a California. You claim to be a Californian.
I don't claim to be a Californian. I'm just a fan of a team because my life.
So you should understand. You should understand where this comes from.
No, man.
Of course, it dates back to Drake and another Californian, Kendrick Lamar, and coming up with they had a few back and forth in the song "They're Not Like Us." Of course, DeMar DeRozan was in the video because DeMar is from, California. Yeah. So now Drake is upset with DeMar DeRozan because it seems like that Drake feels like that it ruined their relationship.
Listen, Drake. Aubrey, whatever. Continue to make good music, man. Be who you are, man. But stop this petty stuff, man. This stuff is crazy.
Is that your message, Drake?
Yeah, man. Like listening to rich people argue about whatever. Like, okay, y'all dating the same girl or whatever. Cool, man. Who cares, man? Just make a good song, something I can ride down in the street with, man. I don't care. Drake said this. DeMar DeRozan, man. Listen. Hit those 15 points I marked you down to do. Come out with an album.
You're making it personal.
Yeah, so not personal, but this is just all I just want. Man, I want to listen. I'm broke. I'm assed out. I ain't got no cash. Hit the 15 points and make a good album. So when I win this parlay, I got a celebratory song that I can listen to. I don't care what two rich people say. Make me rich. So I can say something. Shut the F up. And let's just play ball. That's it.
So Women's Pro Baseball League set to launch in summer of 2026, which is really dope.
Baseball.
The recent surge in women's professional sports leagues is set to continue with the announcement of a baseball league taking the field in the summer of 2026. So the Women's Pro Baseball League, the WPBL, announced last week that they're aiming to throw out the first pitch in less than 2 years' time. The league is co-founded by Justin Siegel, also founder of Baseball for All, and the first women's coach to coach a professional men's baseball team and pitch and batting practice against a Major League Baseball team.
Oh my God! Listen,
pretty dope. It's
whatever.
It's dope for women's
women. It's great or whatever. When they gonna play this professional women's baseball?
2026.
And what time frame of the year? Like winter, fall, spring, summer?
It's going to be in the summer.
Okay. Let's do this here.
Mm-hmm.
Our new producer. Hey, lovely to hear you. See you here, whatever. You're going to grad school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Business or communications?
Yeah, digital communication.
Okay. One of the things that you're going to learn about, and you learned about it, right? You got your master's. You're going to learn about scaling, right? Can this make me a profit? Now I understand I'll say this because I've always said this.
Mm-hmm.
If Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, and Luigi Ball, or whatever his name is, the one that's irrelevant now.
Yeah.
If his campaign for his sons with the shoes and Big Baller brand would have came a year after George Floyd, regardless of Lonzo Ball's health and even the dad's theatrics, whatever, they would probably be one of the most lucrative families in the NBA right now because of the wave of not criticizing black males or being so negative towards black supporting fathers, because he is that, right? One of the things that we always say is that there's not a male in the household, right? So we've seen this jump after George Floyd to where black Americans and women are being Oscar nominated in films, Mermaid, produced. We're on commercials now. We're getting more advertising and more looked in a positive light, right? And this wave is continuing with the women. Like, I have no problem with the uplifting of women and sports and being included in everyday things. But for me, I have a problem with it being thrown in because now it's a fad and it's coming in to where people want to throw money in with that fad because now it's marketable and now it's profitable rather than including them because they've been doing this for years and it's actually an exciting.
So you basically, and to sum it all up, you're saying that they've been taken advantage of.
Yes, and this is what's going to happen. The moment that this does not cover the bottom line, and we're going to probably see this when the WNBA and they start to ask for their fair share of money, and then you start to go to these games and that Caitlin Clark, if that stuff teeters down and football continuously becomes this Godzilla of a monster, if we bring WNBA here, right, which is proposed in 2026, and they play 28, and they play during football time, right? Somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just think about this. The Chiefs play on Monday night.
No, WNBA wouldn't play to football time. They play in summer.
Summer?
Yeah.
Summer and fall.
Okay. So now you have something going on with the Chiefs, or the Royals are making a playoff push, and you got a game down at T-Mobile, and you got a game at Kauffman Stadium. Who gets 70,000 people in the stands?
Here's the thing about that. You're not pulling from the same people because you can look at the Kansas City Current right now.
Mm-hmm.
If when there's a current game, there's been a current game, there's been a Chiefs game,
right?
Same day. The Current have still had a sold out stadium. You're not asking
how many people does the Current stadium hold?
Believes anywhere between 10 and 15,000, somewhere in there. So
how many people in an NFL stadium?
Chiefs 72,000.
72,000.
Yeah.
That's a small city. That's a huge number.
But you're not asking. You're not asking to take their piece of the pie.
That's 71.
There's two totally different audiences, though.
Everything. No.
There's two totally different audiences.
There's two different audiences, but then hold on. There's two different audiences, right? You have people who watch football, and you have people that watch soccer, right? How many more people do you think watch soccer than compared to football?
In Kansas City?
A lot more. No,
in
general.
In general, there's more people that watch soccer.
A lot more, right?
The World Cup.
So then how many people just watch sports and who are infatuated just by the nature of the game?
Depends on who you're a fan of.
Okay,
fans
so let's
are fans.
just do this. Fans are fans, right? But if a fan who generally just wants to watch the nature of the sport and cheer for their home team, if they had to pick between spending their hard-earned dollar between a football ticket to see Patrick Mahomes, which is what's the largest star in America, between a soccer lady, no offense, who are you picking?
It depends. That's a loaded question.
No, who are you picking? You got two tickets. Casey Current, Monday Night Football. Who are you picking?
It's not. It's different. The Current aren't playing on a Monday night.
If they were, this is why
it's not. There's no ifs.
Okay.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
Okay.
They're not. The owner, the NWSL league, is not going to.
So let's do this then. A common America, middle class, making $100,000, which seems to be the middle class medium right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got enough money to go to one game that week because the tickets for the Current,
so the whole week,
the ticket for the Current and the ticket for the Chiefs is $400. And if I had to pick,
they're not both the same price.
Oh man, come on,
they're not both the same price.
Okay, if I have a budget,
you're talking apples and oranges.
So okay, let's do this then. I have a budget because I have to pay lights, gas, water, food, insurance, all that. Mm-hmm. If I have to pick on which game I'm going to entertain me, because that's all it is an entertainment expense.
Okay,
I'm picking a Chiefs game, and I think
are you though? It depends on what fan you're of. It depends on. Are you taking your kids?
I'm giving the basic example of a modern middle class person who has a budget, right?
You also just said majority of America loves soccer.
And I'm saying I said the majority of America likes football.
Do they?
It seems to be when they got billions of dollars compared to the soccer of women who doesn't have billions of dollars. Now overseas soccer may have billions of dollars.
Listen.
Okay.
For this league to be coming in for baseball, because you think about women and they're playing softball in high school, then they go to college, play softball. What's life after that? There's no life for them as far as in baseball after that. Of course, you can go out there and play. You go out there and play, adult league softball. But then that's fun or whatever. But now you're going to be able to get paid a substantial amount of money.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with me? Like, hey, congratulations! Now you have a curriculum that you've been doing your whole life, and now they made an avenue for you to get paid for it professionally. What does that have to do with me spending $60 to go see you play if I don't care about women's baseball and I'd rather go see the Royals versus the Dodgers or the Chiefs versus the Raiders? Because here's the thing,
not everybody's you, and
I know, but there's more people who will go see football than they will that. We can look at the numbers.
They're starting out with let me back up. They're starting out with 6 teams, right?
6 teams.
They're starting out with 6 teams across the U.S. This should be a hit, and the reason I say that is because there's been a need for women's professional baseball. There's been a need for it.
A need.
They've researched it, and if you look at just the totality of sports in general, there's been some sports that aren't professional sports that people are like, oh man, what if that was a professional sport? And I think them pulling the trigger and making this happen is a huge deal.
Okay, so I got a question. We grew up, we from here, right?
Yeah.
Remember, when the Royals were losing, how many people were in them stands? We used to
give or take.
So we was able to like sit right there. The tickets that I pay $100+ for to sit behind home plate were after the 4th inning.
There was coupons on the back of like a Price Chopper ticket.
So they weren't winning,
like
right?
Yeah.
So if you cannot get a sustainable amount of people to make a profit for attendance for a men's game, which is one of the most popular games back in our day, baseball was that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen for women's baseball? They're not knocking home runs like we see Aaron Judge, because that's what we want, right? And so Ohtani.
They're not. We're not putting a women's softball field is way smaller than
it is
400.
So then that brings me to our next point.
Yeah.
If they want women's basketball to be way more entertaining, you know what they need to do? Lower the rims.
Why? Women's basketball to me it's entertaining right now.
It's entertaining because you're a fan. You're a journalist, dude. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's your job.
Even if I wasn't, it's still entertaining.
But
and
you
here's
don't
the thing about it.
So it was an uproar about Lisa Leslie dunking or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And Brittany Griner dunking.
It's a lot of women dunking right now,
right? It's a lot of women. It's just like the hormones and the growth is just phenomenal, and the game is elevation, right?
Exactly, which makes it entertaining.
Listen, make it entertaining. But man, if somebody would have said like, okay, since it's a girl game and they have different rules, and I understand she's shaking her head because she played ball, and I understand you're used to what you're doing, but if you was to lower to the 8 feet and I can watch Angel Reese get one off the rim and drop step and dunk it, you think that wouldn't be entertaining to see a girl do that?
Here's the thing about it. You got a bunch of cities that have nothing, no professional sport at all,
right,
and they want to get behind something,
right?
So if you take this professional baseball team, women's baseball team, and you put it in one of those cities, name a city that doesn't have a St. Louis.
You think they're gonna compete with St. Louis?
St. Louis has
Cardinals.
The
Blues.
Hold on, wait. St. Louis has a huge baseball community. Huge baseball community. You just mentioned the Cardinals. They have a huge baseball community. You don't put. You look at the baseball schedule that's coming up. You're not making a 82 game or 182 game season for this women's professional sports league. I mean baseball league. You make it, I would say 30, 40 games. Yeah, max. That's a shortened season. You're going from these teams. We're saying summer, but these teams are going maybe starting spring training and then go to middle of June.
So which means you're going against March Madness, NFL all season, the combine, season,
nothing's happening.
Draft.
Yeah, we're talking after February.
Okay,
and you said
whoa. So
Oakland. So take a team, put them in Oakland.
So we seen what happened to the Oakland A's.
They want sports though.
Okay,
they just didn't want to build the stadium
because it's money.
Oakland, put them in Oakland.
Okay, so Oakland Golden State Warriors were in what city?
They're in San Francisco. They're in San Francisco, right
and now they moved to San Francisco because you know why? Money. They had a team that won how many championships?
It's similar. Listen,
how many championships?
It's similar to Kansas City.
How many championships?
Very similar to Kansas City.
Hold on, answer this question. How many championships did Golden State win while they were in Oakland?
Enough,
right?
Yeah.
And so what happened to the money? They said, "Oh, we can't afford to put them there."
It's very simple. You can't use that as an example because it's the same thing is happening in Kansas City.
Because if you cannot sustain to build a stadium for a team that is winning, What are you going to do mathematically, money-wise, for a team, a sport that is, one, brand new, two, does not have the viewership or that eye candy thing that's going to bring you like football, basketball, or just, male sports. And then you're going to say, hey, we want to build a stadium here that we couldn't do for the Oakland A's or the Golden State Warriors that win games that have icon figures. Come on, the Oakland Raiders. Everybody knows that shield with the pirate with the patch. And they're in Las Vegas right now because they couldn't sustain the financial profitability that you think that we have a sport for women now because we're including them. No.
Here's the thing about it. There's plenty of cities around that don't have a professional sport.
Good luck.
That they're gonna thrive. We're gonna pin this. No, because you already owe me. so what's the
pin it?
So you already owe me. So we're not betting on that. But there are cities around that need this, and women need it.
Name a city.
That play
Seattle.
They already have what does Seattle have?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks, of course,
and the Mariners.
There's other cities.
They lost the Supersonics.
Listen, since we're talking baseball, the MLB has reportedly found that Dominican prospect with $4 million that were supposed to be coming from the Padres deal is actually 19 years old, not 14 years old.
How the hell they couldn't tell he wasn't 14
So a prospect who had a
old.
massive deal lined up with San Diego Padres, reportedly not who he says he is. This supposedly teenager that was supposed to be 14 is actually 19 years old. He had an agreement that he's supposed to be getting paid $4 million when he becomes eligible. Supposedly 16 in January of 2027. But they found that he's actually 19 years old.
They couldn't tell?
Obviously not.
Let's see. Got a picture of the kid.
I do have
the
it. And honestly, I'll say this because my son plays baseball in pretty much the same leagues that he would be playing in.
Right.
If he's not dominating, which that hit wasn't a dominant hit.
It was inside the park, yeah.
It wasn't a dominant hit. So I don't know what maybe they've seen more of games or whatever, but to me, he don't look 19.
Listen, you want to know how you can tell somebody?
But he looked like his facial looked like he just fresh shaved.
Listen. You want to tell how old somebody is? Have a conversation with them. How many times are you somewhere and you can just tell, like, okay, like, oh man,
but he's Dominican. He doesn't speak English. So
you telling me an interpreter couldn't say, like, oh, wait a minute, this dude is talking about Little Uzi, not Drake, 19.
Here's the thing. You talking about an interpreter who is possibly in the best interest of the Dominican. And getting paid by
so then what are
baseball.
We talking about then? So we talking about money again then, right?
Yeah.
So nothing matters unless it's profitable.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So
listen here.
So is it a problem? Dude, my question to you is, do you feel like it's a problem that this 19-year-old was playing against 14-year-olds?
Yeah, because hell, I'm 17. Let me go back to high school. Let me get some of that NIL deals or whatever. Shoot, let me get back. Hey, I'm 17.
All right, coming up, we'll talk University of Auburn. They had to turn their plane around because a horseplay incident before their clash today with number 4 Houston. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at KCWeSpin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com. Purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show, use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. So, continuing on with our headlines, a baseball fan sues the Dodgers and says he's claiming the rightful owner to be the rightful owner of Shohei Ohtani's 51st stolen base. So a South Carolina baseball fan is suing the World Championship Los Angeles Dodgers.
Say that again.
The world champion Los Angeles Dodgers over superstar Shohei Ohtani's record-setting 51st stolen base, claiming he's the rightful owner. So, long story short, this guy sent an email. Of course, bases, if you guys don't know, in baseball, certain big high-profile games, they'll change out the bases after every inning, and they'll sell them.
Yeah.
So this guy knew that whenever Shohei Ohtani's stolen base, keepsake would be, the stolen base.
Yeah.
He can't get the ball, so, hey, I want the base. I don't want the base that he's stealing. I want the base that he's stealing too.
Yeah. So second.
So he wants second base. So he emailed before the game. He said, hey, I'll pay $2,500 for this stolen base. I don't want the base that he's stealing. I want the base that he's stealing too. So they emailed him back. They said, okay, yeah, we'll take your $2,500. We're not going to bill you now. But he not only said he doesn't want it on X date. If he doesn't do it this day, he wants the following day that he was playing in Houston. So they said, okay, whichever day it is, we'll make sure we pull the base. So, of course, this day happened to be what's called one of the greatest baseball games ever, where Shohei Ohtani hit 49, 50, and 51. And he also stole the 50th base, and he stole the 51st base.
Yeah.
So the 50th base, of course, was given to the Dodgers. And
the base that he wanted
was also given to the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, he's right.
So after the game, or during the game, he emailed the group that, that's of course with the Houston Astros, and he said, hey, make sure that you guys have pulled the base.
Yeah.
And he said, oh yeah, we've pulled the base, no worries. He didn't know that they didn't pull the base. So they kept not only the 50th base, he wanted 50th base, but the Dodgers wanted the 51st because that's the record, right? He just wanted the 50th base.
But they already agreed to it on email.
Pay that man his money. He's rightfully that the Dodgers owe him, or the Houston Astros owe him. He's saying somebody owe him.
That's a legal contract right there.
Yep, because they agreed to it. And the attorney said the bottom line is there was a contract. It was Miami Marlins. We now have a deal.
It's always Miami.
We'll invoice you the next day, and they owe now, basically.
Yo, why didn't we think of that?
I don't know.
Like, we could have came up with $2,500. We can get contacts with this guy, regular dude, just like us, but a little bit more inside scoop to get, like, hey, I know who to contact or whatever, right?
And not only that, but I want the base that he's stealing from.
Yeah, the one that's profitable, right? And then listen, the moment I get that email back and they agreed, I care less if they give me the base with it, right?
Yep.
Because the moment they go against whatever they said on that email, Oh my God, this is a tragedy. Punitive damages. I told I was going to give my kid this. Oh my God, I need $75
So this
million.
was the email back saying that he couldn't get the base. Good morning, Kevin. I'm very sorry to inform you that base was interested, that you were interested in purchasing second base at the time of Ohtani's 50th steal is not available for purchase. The game used sales rep wrote back. So the base went to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The reason for this is because the base would subsequently become a stolen base 51 one inning later. And he said, I had not been previously made aware of the ball club would receive stolen base 51, nor, of course, that the vacated base in steal number 50 would also be steal 51. Please let me know if there's anything else I can assist you with. Thank you.
$50 million. You know why? It's not my fault that internally you guys cannot communicate effectively or whatever to get the right answers. Once you give the answer yes, and there is an agreement, I don't think now certain states are different. Now we have to read on what states, and if it's in Florida,
it's in Florida.
Good luck on those laws, because they may have different laws, like in the state of California or whatever. But in certain states, the transaction doesn't have to be rendered to actually.
No, it's binding.
Actually make it
binding.
Right. But
Verbally.
in some states there has to be binding. There has to be a transfer of services and goods, or goods and tender. Yeah. Whatever amount that you want to, or money, or whatever amount that you want to tender. It could be a phone. It could be anything that you feel that is value to be exchanged.
Yep.
It has to be exchanged in certain states. But hey, get your money on, bro.
All right. University of Auburn turns plane around due to mid-trip. They call it a horseplay between players before a clash with number 4 Houston. The good thing about it is we have the audio of the pilot so let's see what he had to say.
Yes, sir. We have got an altercation on board. We knocked to declare an emergency and land. We got a bunch of basketball players fighting. The flight deck is secure. The threat level is contained for the moment. We just had police on the ground, and we had 2 players that got into physical altercation. Clothes were ripped, and 1 bloody player.
So when you hear that, it kind of contradicts what the University of Auburn said in their statement, that there was a horseplay incident. The pilot said they were fighting. Said there was blood. Said there was somebody got punched in the ribs. So
maybe they was playing open chess.
Nah, man. The FAA ain't gonna lie. Pilots ain't gonna lie. And the audio isn't gonna lie. It says they were fighting. So of course they're gonna try to cover it up.
Oh yeah. Because that's probably, they probably can be they can be excluded from any flights due to FAA regulations or whatever. But hey, one thing when I heard on the pilot is it's probably cultural. If we were the pilots, we can take it like, hey, you little whippersnappers need to cut it out. But okay,
let's get to our header 11 segment.
Hate it. It's that time for love it or hate it. Hate it. If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
All right, so first up in our Hater or Love It segments, we have our sneakers of the week. What do you think of these Jordan 9 Olives? Love them, man.
How much are they?
Probably 190.
Nah.
No? Okay. Then what about the Wu-Tang Nike Dunk Highs?
Does it got a Wu-Tang in
It does. Has it on the tongue and on the back.
All
right. What about the Nike Dunk Low Next Nature in 7s?
I don't like that blue.
Oh, okay. What about the Puma La France Gifted?
Nah, man. It looked like a now later.
All right. Moving on in our Hater or Love It segment. LSU is reportedly supposed to have a live tiger on the sidelines for their game versus Alabama on actually is happening tonight. So per multiple media reports, the Tigers will have a live mascot for the first time in nearly a decade, with state senator bill that's passed. Confirming the news to the Louisiana Illuminator, the school has not had a tiger in the stadium since 2015, following the death of mascot Mike, number 6, from cancer in 2016. So LSU will use a tiger from the owner with past complaints, including 2 escapes. Hate it or love it.
I hate it. Is it going to be in a cage?
It'll be in a cage.
It better be.
But here's the thing.
Most
of the time you have animals that are caged because they want to be caged.
No,
like a tiger. If a tiger want to get out, he gonna get out.
The other one did escape, or that one escaped?
The owner of this new tiger that they're supposedly bringing to the game tonight has had multiple reports of inhumane things in a tiger that has escaped multiple times.
Inhumane things. I need to get specified. What are these inhumane things or whatever? Like, yo, this is not Tony the Tiger that's selling Frosted Flakes, man. Like, yo, he scored a touchdown and he on
what was the? I'm telling you, if Tiger wants to get out and not be captive anymore, he can get out.
Yo, hey, listen.
What was the name of that? It was a cartoon. With the tiger that you be sitting back. It was kind of a dang, I don't remember the name. Y'all watching, y'all know the cartoon. It was a tiger though that it wasn't Jumanji. Dang.
It's a cartoon though.
It was the cartoon, the bear's name was Baloo. And they had this the tiger that used to be hanging around, it's kind of just chilling.
I don't know which cartoon you watch. I was watching Ninja Turtles. What are you watching?
I don't know, but if you're watching, y'all know the cartoon. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah. We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Remember, if you want us to talk about a certain topic, you hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Mike, what you got going on for the rest of the day?
Put in these parlays until it's legal in Missouri to win some more money.
Is he going back over to Wyandotte County?
Nah, I'm not going to the dot.
Okay, Overland Park.
A little pretentious. I got to go to OP, Johnson County. You know.
So it matters where you bet.
Hey man, I need nice facilities when I'm gambling. It makes the mood feel right.
Okay.
Do it in the shack.
All right. Remember, you can hear a rewind of our show, The W Show, on 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio on Mondays. Also, Monday, catch the Red Hour. Myself, Sean Tyler, Darren Smith, and also DJ Q. We'll be live at Elevation Bar and Grill. That's out in Raytown. Come out, hang out with us, 6:30 to 7:30. 6 o'clock is where you come and grab you some food, have some prizes, and watch the show. We're talking all things Chiefs. Until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.